Greg Cosell interview impacted and influenced how you vote and how you going to fill in the blank on the Schein Box question. Chris in California, our good friends. Next on Sports.
Hey, Schein. It's been a long time, man.
Warm it up, Chris.
Yeah, just getting excited for Dodger baseball first, but want to talk about why the Jets should
I don't want to oversell it. But
yeah,
Bob
right?
Stew is working on a guest of all guests for Thursday's show that you're going to be interested in. That's all I'm going to say. He's working on a big time guest. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
That's all I'm going to say. Man. And I'm going to take you a step further. I think there's a shot the Dodgers win 110 games this year. I think the Dodgers are going to be one of the best teams in the regular season in the history of Major League Baseball. That's my expectation for this team.
That'd be great, but it won't mean nothing if you don't win the World Series if you win that many games.
And I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series.
I hope so. That'd be great.
How about Dustin May in the rotation and David Price is going to be in the bullpen? I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches right here.
Exactly. I can't wait, man. Can't wait. But yeah, I was going to talk about how the Jets shouldn't take Zach Wilson. I just feel like we need more holes than another quarterback, and I think the kid belongs on the movie poster with Baywatch standing next to Zac Efron compared to suiting up for a quarterback. We need a lot more help than Zach Wilson. I think the kid is.
As a dad who has a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old girls, we've seen a lot of High School Musical in the house, so I could appreciate the Zac Efron reference. But
I'm sure of it.
Don't let the looks fool you here.
Oh, for sure. I'm just thinking. I think honestly we need more offensive linemen. That's for sure. A stud. I mean, Kyle Pitts would be phenomenal in New York. Sam Darnold, he's been gaced, like you said. I can't agree with you more. The kid is 23 years old. He has so much potential. He finally has a good coaching staff. I mean, I always tell everybody, like you say too, look at what happened with Ryan Tannehill after he got away from Adam Gase. But the proof is right there. So why give him up when we could, keep him for a long term, build him up, build around him, and we don't have to ship off that draft pick, and we built around him. I don't like Zach Wilson.
Understand this. I hear you. And my plan A in theory would be that, right? But here's the problem. We're not running the Jets. And exactly. when I say that, I don't even mean that in a negative way as a problem. First of all, You just heard Greg Cosell, his breakdown of Zach Wilson, right?
Exactly.
And you heard Chris Sims last week in his breakdown. He thinks Wilson's better than Lawrence. I disagree with Chris on that. But when you hear those comments and you heard what Greg said about how Wilson fits, you just got to remember, Joe Douglas didn't draft Sam Darnold. Yeah, and even though I think he'll be great, Joe Douglas hasn't seen the greatness from Sam Darnold. Robert Saleh is a first-time head coach. If he doesn't love Sam Darnold, doesn't matter if we're right. He's going to find his guy. And I can applaud that. That's the worst thing you could do as a new head coach is not find your quarterback you're going to be attached to. So here you have a new head coach, first-time head coach. You're bringing in a great system. You got a GM who has a quarterback who he didn't draft. They're taking Zach Wilson. So, I don't know if you need to go watch High School Musical again, but Chris, you might as well get used to Zach Wilson as the Jets quarterback. I hear all your points, and I think Sam's going to be great elsewhere, and I think Kyle Pitts is going to be a rock star. But I totally applaud the Jets when it comes to Zach Wilson.
Yeah, like I said, I don't hate the kid. I just don't think it's a good fit. I mean, I'll back the Jets no matter what they do.
But why is it not a good fit?
I just don't think that he's got the size. I don't think he's going to be able to handle the media that's going to be in New York. I don't think he's going to be able to handle the complex
When you say can't handle the media, what does that mean exactly?
The questions and the ridicule that's going to come with being the New York Jets quarterback. And the
Well,
fact that he has to face Bill Belichick twice a year, and we know what Bill Belichick does to young quarterbacks. I mean, I
Chris,
see this
I'm
kid
not,
getting
and again, we're having a good conversation. Have you seen enough interviews with Zach Wilson where you think he's going to be bad with the press? Because I haven't.
No, I haven't. But I mean, let's be honest. New York media can be pretty hard on those quarterbacks.
Listen, I think the thing with the New York media is they ask amazing questions, and there's a lot of them, you know, in terms of the volume of the press and TV and radio and newspapers. I mean, you know, Sam Darnold was amazing with the media, and, you know, obviously a lot of it was Gase's fault, but Sam didn't play well. So
Right.
to me, Chris, it's going to be all about how he performs on the field. And, you know, I really am a big fan and a big believer here when you look at it in terms of Zach Wilson. The media stuff, well, BYU to New York doesn't bother me. It doesn't. You know, well, it's not like we've seen examples where he's been curt or shy. No, that doesn't bother me. And it's a great telephone call, and I love your point, but I totally applaud and appreciate it. You know, the first-time coach, offensive coordinator, and I want to keep finding his quarterback, and I want to stress, Joe Douglas didn't draft Sam Darnold. Chad in California, our good friend. Next on Sports.
Schein, what's going on?
Chad, what's cooking?
Oh, I'm so pumped up for these games tonight. The games last night were great. I know our guy Mike's not going to want to hear this. I think the California fun ends tonight. I think Zaga and Michigan take care of business, and that's going to lead four teams I've watched the most this year. And the best part about it, if you look at the style of play, let's start with Baylor and Houston. I mean, that's the Spider-Man meme, Schein. That's DirecTV Baylor and cable Baylor with Houston. I mean, they're pretty much identical. They like to rebound. They like to get, you know, guard play, and they usually go from there. They muck it up on defense. I'm so excited for that game. I love the guards at Baylor. Grimes in Houston is probably my favorite player in college basketball this season. He's such a good player. Giroux, I mean, the way he runs that offense, what he did against Syracuse, I think that got so overlooked. I mean, he broke that zone down single-handedly and got it to the big guys. The offensive rebounding that Houston does, I think we're in for a treat there. And then if Gonzaga and Michigan can handle business tonight, I mean, you look at them, they play such team basketball. I mean, they probably play exactly how people, you know, when you think about basketball, that's how you want to see it played. They share the ball.
You're right.
They move the ball to their teammates. I mean, they play defense. So, I mean, both teams on each game, they play the same style of basketball. So I'm so excited to see the result. Like you said, not having Livers there, you were riding Zaga, I was riding Michigan. That hurts a lot. It's the what could have been factor there. But I still think we're in for a heck of a game. And I'm not going to write off USC, UCLA completely. They have a chance.
But, Chad, I think you summed it up perfectly, right? I think UCLA and USC are going to compete. And I'd be stunned if these games, you know, like last night, you kind of felt, and I know Oregon State made a comeback, but those games were kind of bloodbaths early. I'd be stunned. As I live for Gonzaga, I love Michigan. I'll be stunned if the competition, USC, UCLA, respectively, not up for the moment, because those are great teams, well-coached teams with great players. These are not Cinderella stories, okay? I know what the seeds say. These are high-level hoops teams, okay? Now, with that said, I think Gonzaga will end up winning by 10 because they win every game by double digits. They've covered every spread since December. And I think that Michigan will eventually – look, Florida State's a great team. We talk about it all the time. Florida State played the worst game it's played all year on offense. That's the genius of Michigan. So I think you're going to see two great games, but the cream will rise to the top. And I'm with you. Just on the sheer beauty of how Gonzaga and Michigan play, oh, baby, that's going to be fun tonight.
Yeah, and I actually think Michigan has a chance to kind of open it up against UCLA, and credit Sean D. Brown for stepping in. I think he's done a great job,
Yes, he has.
up on the defensive end and scoring. I think you got to give him a lot of credit. So I think Michigan can – the Zaga-USC game, I'm torn a little bit. And I can see Zaga just opening it up, you know, at half. They're up 10, and in the second half they just put them to bed. But at the same time, I mean, USC, you would have thought the Mobley brothers carried them here. It's the guard play, and that's what's been surprising. I mean, the Mobley brothers have been great, but they're not out there putting 20, 25 just, you know, dominating like I thought they would have. It's the guard play of Edey and the other guard that are really taking over. And that's what's surprising. If those two guards can show up tonight and space the floor a little bit and give the Mobley brothers some room down low to go one-on-one against Timmy, Gonzaga's not deep down low. So if you get Timmy and Watson in foul trouble, they could be in some trouble. So I'm really intrigued with that game. I'm less confident in Zaga covering than I am Michigan tonight.
I'd be nervous. Again, like last night, and I got both right. You heard me. With Houston and Oregon State, I had Oregon State. You heard me at this time, literally on yesterday's show, and I was right about Baylor. I didn't take either one for the lock of the night. I do think that you'll see. If you're asking me for the picks for tonight, I'll take Gonzaga to cover. I don't feel great about it. And I'll take UCLA to cover with Michigan winning. I think that UCLA is going to be up for it, but I'm not going to pick either one as the lock of the night. Michael and the OC, our good friend. Next on Sports.
Oh, Adam.
You ready?
Tuesday.
You ready?
Elite. Adam, am I ready? Can I get Chad to root for a Southern California team once in his life, please?
Are you ready for tonight?
Adam, I don't know what to tell you. Here's the deal. We have two great universities squaring off here. We got Big Blue. We got Powder Blue. We got the Fab Five. We got the Wooden Legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much to this game. It's beautiful. We got Robbie in Arizona. We got Mary in Michigan. We got me. There's so much going on, Adam. But here's the thing about UCLA, Adam. There's a certain mystique here that I'm hoping to count on. When you put on that jersey, when you get to the Elite Eight, when you're close to the Final Four, and you're putting on that jersey with those four letters, Adam, there's a certain responsibility there. There's a certain inner working thing going on here. And I'm hoping that's going to somehow lift us up and carry us through. It's going to be very difficult, no question about it. They got size, they got speed, they got depth. But you know what, Adam? We're on some sort of roll. And this would be incredible if we get to the Final Four. And
it would be, Mike. And I think it's already been a huge success. I think it's going to be a great game. You heard me say I think it's going to be close. I have too much respect for UCLA. Even though Michigan mauls people, I think UCLA is going to keep it close. And listen, we love UCLA keeping it close against Alabama. I think this is where it ends tonight for your ride and your run for your Bruins. But I expect a high-level basketball game later on tonight. And when I say later on tonight with that 10 o'clock tip, I mean much later on tonight. Can't wait for the results of the Schein box. Mac Jones is. Poll question, which quarterback going to have the better NFL career, Justin Fields or Mr. Mac Jones? Get to that right after Dan Lang and the Mad Dog Sports Radio Sports Fight.